Please stand for music. You may be seated. Our quote today comes from Nelson Mandela. It always seems impossible until it's done. Good morning. Today is Monday, February 1st, 2021, and today is the first day of Black History Month. Black History Month occurs every February. It pays tribute to and celebrates the achievements of Black individuals and acknowledges the central role of African Americans in United States history. Carter G. Woodson, a historian who created the History Week, which later became the month-long celebration, believed that, quote, truth could not be denied and that reason would prevail over prejudice. And now I'd like to hand it over to Angelina Miles to tell us a little bit more about the month.
So for Black History Month this year, we have quite a few activities planned that will let us explore Black and African American history and culture. To start off the month, members of the Black Student Union are wearing their Black Lives Matter hoodies. We created these hoodies as a way to express ourselves in times of civil unrest and racial injustice. A lot of work went into creating these hoodies, so we're all super excited to finally show them off. Also this week, we're going to create a Black History Month Spotify playlist made up of songs of all different types of Black and African American artists. The playlist will be put on the portal later this week. Next week, we're going to have a crossword on Black accomplishments posted in the front hall on the 2 bulletin boards by the front doors. Later, we're going to have a poetry reading of influential Black and African American poets that students and faculty will be allowed to participate in. We will have an event on Zoom where everyone will be able to participate. And finally, the last week of February will be a Black History Month Joy Week, since the theme for our Black History Month is Black Joy. More details on all future events will come later.
All right, our Black History Month fact of the day is that today is National Freedom Day, which celebrates freedom from slavery. The day honors the signing by Abraham Lincoln of a joint House and Senate resolution that later became the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. And now, I'd like to invite Molly Gaughan up to give her senior presentation.
It all started in 2011 when I was watching TV in my grandma's room. A music video suddenly came on and I immediately got up to change it because at first glance it looked like a band named All-Star Weekend, who I despised. As I looked at the TV, I realized it was not All-Star Weekend. Instead, I experienced love at first sight with 5 teenage boys who I had never seen before. The boys and the catchiness of the song intrigued me, so I decided to let it play. And before I knew it, I was dancing along to that song that never stopped playing in my head after my first time hearing it. That song was What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction, which most likely you, your uncle, your dog, and anyone else would recognize when hearing the chorus. From that day forward, my family bought me every single thing that had One Direction on it. Posters, pajamas, blankets and pillows, jewelry, toothpaste, and more. My classmates in elementary school all knew me as a super obsessive girl who would talk about them every chance she got. Every time the phrase One Direction was used in science class to refer to the movement of molecules or something else completely unrelated to the band, heads would turn to wait for my enthusiastic reaction. I was never ashamed of loving One Direction, even though people often shame me for it. Throughout the years, I developed such a strong emotional connection to Harry, Niall, Louis, Liam, and Zayn that I feel like I know each one of them personally. When Zayn left the band 4 days before my birthday in 2015, I thought I would never have happiness again. Going into school the next day, I felt like all of my classmates were paparazzi, and I was a celebrity that just went through trauma, because they wouldn't stop talking to me about his departure, even though I wanted to be alone. I know all of their blood types when I don't even know my own. I would do anything for them, even though they don't have a clue who I am. They are a source of comfort for me because since I've been following them for so long, I grew up as they too grew up. I would consider myself a professional directioner. My obsession includes watching One Direction's live stream on one D-Day for 7 hours straight in 2013, editing several photos of Harry with my face photoshopped over whoever else was in the picture, having a merit certificate for Harry and I given to me by a friend, dressing like the boys, liking the same things as the boys just because they like them, and bringing them up whenever I have the opportunity. It has gotten to the point where my best friends have genuinely asked me if I love them or One Direction more. I probably should answer that question out loud. I could go on for days and write several novels about my love for them and how my obsession with them is a personality trait of mine, but for this short presentation, I want to focus on my favorite member, Harry Styles, whose 27th birthday is today. You see, I even planned my senior presentation to be on his birthday. Unfortunately, not everyone in the world is a Harry Styles fan, but many people say he is a celebrity that nobody hates. Perhaps because he is a role model for myself and many people these days because of what he stands for. His motto is treat people with kindness, and he advocates for things like ending gun violence, Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ+, women's rights, and more. He is a prime example of not being afraid to be himself and going against the status quo. For example, Harry does not believe that clothes have a gender. He wore a dress and was the first solo man ever on the cover of Vogue, and he handled the criticism gracefully. He has shown the world that we should never be afraid to show people who we are and what we believe in. Sometimes I think, what would Harry do? And I do that because he does not care what people think or if people will judge him. He taught me to embrace myself and to have confidence. His songs always act as a crutch for me because I turn to them if I am stressed, anxious, or upset. Listening to his music has taught me many things, one of which is that life will always be a spectrum, and sometimes there is a very fine line between the super high good times and super low bad times, which is completely normal. Being a fan of Harry connects people all over the world because, in a sense, we can all relate to each other. I have gone through many crazy experiences as a fan, from crying over pictures and videos to losing my voice at concerts. One experience in particular that is significant is when my parents paid for us to see Harry's suit in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, even though we had just gone there before the suit was put in a couple of weeks prior. It may have been boring to see me stare and cry over his suit for 30 minutes straight, but my parents were happy to do it because they knew this was an experience I would never forget. The best days of my life were seeing One Direction and Harry Styles in concert because I felt so connected to them by seeing them in person, and I was so happy to have shared each of these experiences with my aunt. My family has said several times that this was a phase, as I got over Zac Efron and Justin Bieber fairly quickly, but they are now aware that this is part of my lifestyle. Just as you may have a passion for sports, music, or theater, I have a passion for 4 British boys and an Irish boy. They have grown in front of my eyes over the past 10 years, and I'm grateful that they have shown me how to love myself and to not hold back who I am. I don't know what my life would be like if I never saw that music video on TV almost 10 years ago. No matter how long it takes for One Direction to reunite, I can guarantee that I'll be going to their concert, even if I need a cane to hold me up. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. I do have a few announcements before we go. This is from the Journalism Club. Please fill out the dress code poll that is on the portal for an upcoming article for Journalism Club. It should only take about 5 minutes. Thank you so much. Number 2, the deadline for yearbook lines and senior ads has been extended to Friday, February 5th, so you all have the rest of the week to get everything in. Remember, any student can purchase an ad. It can be thanking your friends or a teacher or just an inside joke with a friend. The link will stay up on the portal, so please help support Seminaria. And lastly, after morning meeting, sometime during the day today, a Valentine form will be sent out to all of you. If you would like to send a Valentine to anyone from SEM, Nichols, or St. Joe's, you can fill out the form. Paper hearts are $1, and a paper heart with a chocolate rose is $3. It will be book billed to your account. The form is only for one Valentine, so if you plan on sending more, please resubmit it for each Valentine. The deadline to submit this is Thursday this week at 3:30, so please make sure to turn in your forms. Lunch today is Taco Bar. Do we have any faculty announcements?
Yeah, ensemble today at lunchtime, and it's the whole group.
All right. Any student announcements?
Hello. This week during advisory, we're going to have a little time slot to make Valentines for different organizations that SEM works with frequently. So we're going to be doing them with Canopy of Neighbors and hopefully St. Luke's. So please bring in your own pens and like scissors, no glitter, please, anything that you want to decorate your Valentines with. Thank you.
Do we have any other student or faculty announcements? Okay, well, thank you. That is all I have, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.